Wide receiver Dallas Wilson. Tell us about this guy.
Yeah. So Dallas Wilson, he was wide receiver. Is this updated? No, he was wide receiver 4 for on 3 currently. He's 6'3", 180. I don't think I necessarily believe the 6'3", but we'll stick with that for now. Out of Tampa Bay Tech, Florida, committed to Oregon. And I don't know. I got stuck with the guys I kind of am not that high on in comparison to their grades in the last couple episodes here, but that's okay. He's looks like a superior athlete on the field. Our athleticism score doesn't really reflect that, but I'll blame that on older data, I suppose, because I do think he's a much better athlete than the numbers we currently have on him. He's definitely a big down the field threat. Probably profiles as a Z downfield guy. Uh, Not very consistent in terms of uh, down to down getting the ball. He only had a receiving market share of 16%, but then his yards market share is 32%, which definitely reflects more of that profile as I was saying before, as a guy who's not going to get the ball a ton, but when he does, is going to be down the field for big, large chunk plays. I think he's a pretty fast, fluid mover. He can win contested. He's pretty good after the catch. I do think he's not. I don't think he's super coordinated though. At times, I mean, he kind of slips around a bit, kind of flails around. Just plays a bit out of control, I guess. And that's something I don't love. A few body catches on his tape as well. Uh, he was the top wide receiver on his team, but not really by much. Last year, 11 games, 49 catches, 872 yards for 9 touchdowns. Versus 27.5 SOH, which is about average. So okay statistically, not really a superb profile though. So this is not a guy that I would rank this high because I don't ever see him being a wide receiver 1 for a college or NFL team. More of a support wide receiver 2 or 3. And we're doing this for fantasy. We're here for the production. So if I don't see a consistent week to week score, then you're probably not going to be super high for me.
Yeah. All right. I'll go last. David, Dallas Wilson headed to Oregon. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll just pretty much echo everything he's saying. I agree with, and I think I initially watched him on the Under Armour 50. What was it? I don't know. It was the underclassmen, and I could tell like it seemed like he kind of got stuck on some of his breaks, his footwork. Yeah, it needs to be cleaned up. Maybe because he's a little taller, it's like a little bit harder to change direction. So I think in like the non-breaking routes, like the vertical stuff, he's good in that. We have him at 21 miles per hour. I don't know. He's got pretty good deep speed. It looked like he's got a 77.5-inch wingspan. So pretty good frame, pretty good length. He'll get bigger. He'll fill out and stuff like that. But I didn't really see there wasn't like the many plays that really wowed me either. And like the route tree is limited. So yeah, I kind of agree. I think he's sort of a supporting guy, unless, I mean, I don't know. He could take a big leap. I'm going to be open-minded about it. Maybe he takes a big leap his senior year, shows some more refinement. And but otherwise, I think I'm going to be lower than the services as it stands.
Yeah, I mean, there's a caveat here, too. We're looking at junior tape. Things do change. If you watched us and tracked us through 2024, we definitely changed opinions on guys for the better and for the worse. So this is an incomplete profile. But as it stands right now, I would agree with both of you. When I watched him, I said, this screams Z receiver. This screams, secondary outside guy, maybe a deep threat. He does hit 21 miles per hour, which is good, but even that's not like an elite long speed. I mean, there's plenty of guys that break 21, 21.5, 21.7 if you want that super deep vertical threat. So, his one thing isn't even necessarily elite. I didn't see nuance. I didn't see other things to make me believe that he kind of was just like a good receiver. Like, he's good, But, like David said, I agree. There's nothing where I was like, oh, wow, something popped, something looked interesting, something looked above and beyond. Very much just like, seems like a guy, obviously a good player. He will play in college, but, I'm not that excited. I think I will also be lower, especially when the profile is just like wide receiver 2 on his own team in most cases. Like, that's not who I'm looking for right now, especially at the top of a recruiting class. That's Dallas Wilson.